there, my name is Caroline and this is Caroline's Handmaids. So today I'm coming to you with a review of a pattern. This is the Cashmerette Vernon dress, Vernon shirt I made up a couple of weeks ago. So it was my mistake. I was supposed to make the June club pattern, but I mistakenly made a wrong pattern from the past. Long story, but anyway, I made the Vernon shirt and I thought I'd share it with you. Before I go on, I am wearing the Love Notions classic tee. It's one of my favorite tees. It's a fabric I purchased at none other than Fabric Mart Fabrics. Let's get into the Vernon shirt review. The fabric I purchased was from Fabric Mart Fabrics. It is a very nice drape. I am not good with fabric, what they're made of, but I think this is a challis. It's not a rayon. I know it's a challis because it has a nice texture to it and it drapes well. So the Vernon shirt, I have it in my hand. It's this. I actually have this view cut up. Also in a silky kind of fabric. It has I'll talk about that later, but the Vernon shirt is the reason why I like Cashmerette patterns a lot is that it fits the shape of my body very well. I'm smaller on the top and I have I'm curvier from the waist down to my hips. It fits well, and this Vernon shirt goes from a size 12 to a size 32, and the most beautiful thing about it is that it has cup sizes C through H, and it has a standard and full bicep sleeves. Isn't that great? I love that. The Vernon shirt also has, both the styles are long sleeve. And sorry, I keep looking up because my cats are there. Vernon shirt has, both the shirts have long sleeves. One is just a standard shirt with a button placket, a classic collar, a narrow cuff, and a narrow cuff right there. And view B is a lantern sleeve, and it has a slight gathering of the sleeve cap, and it has a white cuff and continuous bound cuff placket, and it has a button closure and two button closures, and it has a covered button placket, and it has an oversized collar. I'll put pictures up, but let me just show you what view B is. I normally don't wear my shirts tucked in, but when I do make that, I'm going to make a skirt to go with it, and I'm going to try the look over here, the UB look. Anyway, I love making this shirt. Every time I make something with Cashmerette, I seem to learn something new, which is it's just nice. I don't feel like I feel like when I make Cashmerette pattern, I feel like I'm actually tailoring something, learning new techniques and so on. So the size, let me talk about the size. It goes from a size 12 to 32, and it says here, so what did I do? My high bust was 43 and a half, full bust was 46, my waist was 45 and a half, and the hip was 51, and the bicep was 14 inches. So what I did based on all the finish. I like to go with the finished garment measurements, because I notice when I do just body measurements, it always comes out way too baggy for me. So I did a size 20, but I did for bust of size 18, the top part, and then I graded out right here to a size 20. That always seems to work out for me. And I did the C cup. So that was the measurements I used. And so for the size 18, it only requires 2 7/8 of a yard. And I always, when I buy my fabric, I buy a little extra just in case I make mistakes. Also just in case, yeah, I make mistake and I have to recut something. It also requires interfacing for the collar, pocket here, and the cuff. It also needs buttons, obviously. So I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 buttons. I am just going to go through the pages so that I know what I did here. Everything was standard. I must say what went well is just sewing up the shirt. It was not challenge. It was challenging in certain areas, and certain areas it was the standard sewing. So I did notice after, see on the mannequin, the bust darts are falling just right. But when I wore the shirt, and I'll obviously put pictures here, the bust darts are a little higher, especially on one side, obviously, because I had this surgery, for breast cancer, and so next time I will lower the darts a little bit, so that was one of the things I noticed, that the bust darts were slightly off. But on the mannequin it seems fine, but on me when I wore it, it was fine. The mannequin is to my measurements. Obviously on a human being, things are a little saggy. I'm not a mannequin. So then they use the burrito method for the facings, and to turn out, the back facing was used for the burrito method was used for that. It was the sleeve placket. It's a self-bias tape that I cut out. All the instructions say that. It was very, very. This one presented a little challenge for me in the sense that putting the bias in to the sleeve. Let me show you. Come on, mannequin. Right here. Sorry, I didn't wash this shirt after putting the marking, but here's the placket, the sleeve placket, and let me unbutton that, and then it was here, right at this point over here, right there. It was to stitch it really close to the close to the edge of the fabric, and that was quite a challenge without making a hole, leaving a gap open. Sorry, I'm out obviously in the patio, and the neighbors talking, and people's AC might go off, and the birds are chirping. It's dinner time. So that was the only issue that I faced with this one. And all in all, the button plackets, I must say something about the button placket. I always seem to have a challenge in using the button placement guide. Every pattern I've used before, I seem to have a challenge with that button placket. It's always off. Maybe it's I cut, something is off in the sewing, but with the Cashmerette pattern, and I usually don't use the button placket because I know I'm always off, but with the Cashmerette pattern, the button placket, the button placement guide was spot on. It just sat right at the top and everything matched up. And they always see, I know that the bust, the seam, I mean, sorry, the dart needs to be lowered because with Cashmerette, they always have the button in the center match up to the dart. So that's when I knew. That's also how I know that it's a little off, obviously. But I'm gonna wear this shirt. I don't think anyone's gonna come so close to me and say, "Wow, that that dart is so off." I don't think anyone's gonna do that. So I wear what I sew unless it's just totally garbage. But this is a beauty. It's beautiful. I love it. I'm actually also going to wear it to work because why not? It's beautiful, except for the little dart problem. The collar was great to put in. No major issues with the collar. And the one slight issue I had again with the sleeve cup was I did have some trouble with the button placement, but I couldn't use the guide basically, so I did my own placement of where I thought it should go. Somehow it didn't match up, so anyway, but it's that's the only issue. So I really didn't have many issues with this pattern. I learned how to put in the collar stand. It has the collar stand, which I like. It's not just not a collar off of, you know, the neck. So I learned how to put in a collar stand, and it worked. I remember doing this shirt a while ago with a collar stand, and I just couldn't get it. But the Cashmerette pattern instructions for the collar stand and putting in the collar, it was so nice, and I was able to put it in without racking my brain, you know, like what am I doing wrong, what am I, no, it was great. So like I said, I have view B cut up again already. I'm not sure when I'm going to make it because I have other plans for June and July, but I am going to do view B when I get a little, maybe I'll do it in August. And that's more the fabric that I use is more of a fall. And most of the time I use fabric that I can wear that crosses over seasons. So I see making the Cashmerette Vernon shirt, you know, it's going to be one of my go-to shirts because I like wearing shirts, and this is really sews up well and really nice. You can dress it up, dress it down based on the fabric fabric you choose, right? So that's my review of the Cashmerette pattern. Thank you for joining me today to watch this review. Also, please like, comment, and subscribe if you'd like. I enjoy the comments people post in my videos, and I reply to everyone. Also, if you'd like to see more pictures of this pattern, follow me on Instagram at Carolines_handmaids. Thank you, everyone. God bless you. Bye-bye.